In the last video, we discussed the recruitment process. We discussed how recruitment process is needed in order to fill a position, and we discussed recruitment process start off with the need of the job, when you need a job, to all the way to analysis, job description, job specification, advertise the job, you interview them, and you hire them at the end of the day. But what happens after you hire them? They don't know much about the company they're working in. They don't know anything about the job. Probably the job needs some different specifications, some different skills. So you train them. So there are three kinds of trainings. Before I get into the training, there's something very important I need to write. What I've discussed. After recruitment, companies, the HR job is to train the new employee. Now there are three kinds of training we're talking about. Training number one is induction training. Now, induction training is a training which is done on the first day. First day of work. In this training, you don't do much work on the induction training. The company will actually train you. They'll talk about the customs of the company, rules and regulations, they'll talk about history of the company, history. They'll actually give you an introduction of the company, because you don't know much about the company. I know you've got the job, but you really need to learn what the company is all about. They will also talk about your role, talk about your job. You would meet colleagues, you will meet your manager, and if you're a manager, you will also be meeting your staff. So it's an orientation. If you have any questions about the company, if you need to learn anything, you need to ask anything, they'll tell you. Everything will be there. It would be a day for you to understand the norms and culture and the rules of the company and what the company is all about and what would be your role. Now, once you're done with induction training, you're on the job, you start work. But sometimes, or probably most of the times, you just don't get the grasp of the job you need to do. So you will be given on the job training. On the job training is when you come, it's the second kind of a training. On the job training is when you are asked to observe, sit with an experienced person, and learn how he's doing the job. So you will get the opportunity to learn from an experienced person, so in future you will need to do that job. So it's a great way of training, on the job training, where someone is sitting with you and who is doing the work and you're just simply observing them and you're learning how to do that job. Now, a third one is called off the job training. This means that you've been asked to probably go away from your workstation. So you're not actually sitting in your office. You probably are asked to go to some training room. This won't be done on your desk. It won't be some training room. Maybe they ask you to go out, get a training. Maybe they ask you to go do an MBA. So this kind of training is more of like a specialist training. Now, and you don't get it the very first day or the very first year. Or normally you do get it. I mean, depends on the company, but this is a specialist kind of a training where the company would say, all right, we want you to go to get this special or specific training. The reason it is called off the job is because it is away from your office or workstation, away. Maybe in a hotel, maybe in the boardroom of your company. This also includes a degree. A company wants you to go to an MBA degree, or they want you to go to a certification. So off the job, which means away from your job. You come back more trained and then you help the company. So there are three kinds of training we discussed. Induction, the first day you come in, you understand the custom laws of the company, you meet your colleagues, you understand the job you're doing. On the job training is you are asked to sit with someone who's experienced, to follow them, you learn what they do, you observe them, and you start doing that. And off the job is when you're sent away from your job to get this more specialist or more specific kind of a training, which can be an MBA degree, can be a certification, can be some special kind of a training which you need. So these are the three trainings an employee would get. Thank you.